Why, hello, you beautiful souls. Good day, grand risings. Oh, and happy Sunday. I hope that you're doing well. Now, converging these 7 rays into one is going to be a practice that starts off in the heart space. So, for those of you that have seen, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, we're going to be using some of our own, inner imagination to really bring ourselves into a point of radiating from the heart. And the convergence of the 7 rays is essentially allowing the heart space to govern and to radiate through each and every center, thus ultimately activating that highest potential that we are, that Christ consciousness, that divine being in which we are. So get your last few wiggles out, get a nice stretch in, and we're going to get started here in just a second. It's pretty on point how in alignment it is, because the beginning of this practice is going to be a deeper form of gratitude. And in the light of Memorial Day tomorrow here in the States, it's important to really bring back that recognition of sacrifice, of ancestral really happenings, that we truly do stand on the shoulders of the past generations. And for those of us that have fought for our freedom, for those of us that have defended their families, protected their families in all the various ways that have gone across the timelines and centuries. So with our first breath together, we want to take a nice inhale and a big, comfortable sigh of relief. With a smile on your face, with that thanksgiving, that energy of appreciation for another day, for an opportunity to experience, for this gift of life. When you hear the first 3 taps of the singing bowl, we'll take a nice deep breath. Inhale with each ring of the bowl. And as you exhale, we'll transmute that into a powerful and mighty Om. Ensure that you open the mouth wide, relax the jaw, so that A note can resonate. And as you close the mouth, the U and the M will form naturally. Release the body of breath here. It's in these moments we bring ourselves back to that silent witness, the quiet observer, the knower. And it's in these moments that we come to drop ourselves from that mental identification and come to understand the throne of the soul is the heart space. That recognition of when we simply allow everything to be, we can separate, distance ourselves from the temporary happenings, thus leaving that eternal knower, that divine light in which we are, to unfold. And that calm, that love, that warmth, that light in which is observed is but the aroma of our being. The seer cannot be seen, but can be felt and known by letting go. And with this final tap of the singing bowl, we shift our attention to the sound of the bowl as it rings once more, allowing our ear, our focus, to drift into silence just as the sound fades, and to marinate in that calm, that stillness. And it's in that quiet and calm that the subtleties can be observed. That knowing that we are not the mind, for mental thought forms and patterns drop. That we are not so intimate with the body as we may believe, for it enters into a deep state of relaxation and calm. The simple fact that we drop from it in sleep goes to show its lack of importance, thus revealing and leaving the heart space. That center, that middle point, that throne of the soul. It radiates with light. We can feel our heart smiling when we are excited, satisfied, in alignment. And truthfully, when we observe ourselves in the zone, in the flow, when the mind space is silent, it is that simultaneous doing and being. It is because everything is perfectly balanced through this heart space. It represents the fulcrum in which the duality of our existence rests upon. It is that middle point between the lower chakras and the upper chakras. It is that which is known. Western science has come to understand that it is this center, this organ itself, the heart, is one that senses its own nervous system. It operates on its own. Yet it also operates with feedback to and from the rest of the body. It is our life force. And when it stops, the breath stops. And we exit this lifetime in this form. But here we go beyond the simple Western understanding of the heart, going beyond the spiritual understanding of heart coherence, and come into the deeper knowing of what this space, this center, represents as the throne of the soul. It's home. That oneness, love, that intangible yet tangible force that can be observed and witnessed. It is the center that connects us to all of life, from the inanimate, seemingly, to the animate, to the tangible, to the intangible. Again, it is that fulcrum, that middle point, that perfect balancing of the higher and lower realms, which is why our beingness, that divine light, that witness resides there. For it is that connection point, that road straight to source. Converging our 7 rays into one is what we can call awakening our Christ consciousness. But understanding this practice, this understanding in a more tangible fashion, is necessary for all of us moving forward. So just as spoken upon earlier before we began this practice, that cartoon of How the Grinch Stole Christmas, we can see that when the heart shrivels up, gets blackened, becomes small, we shut ourselves off from happiness, from love, from joy, from being, and we enter into the darkness, doubts, fears, anxiety, hatred. Yet when it grows, it is the cup that overflows that pours into everything else we do. Compassion, understanding, patience, kindness, play, love. So here, whether you seek to say it internally or proclaim it externally, we begin to pour our own love into our hearts with the simple words, thank you. And in this time, we will continue to repeat it, whether you choose to say it with me or on your own. And the purpose of this is to say it until you feel it, to truly give forth that gratitude and appreciation. For gratitude is the start of building trust and faith with the Creator. It is truly the path of least resistance. because it offers the most transmutable force that can be experienced in this lifetime. Anything that happens in your life, when you simply shift your perspective and beingness towards appreciation for it, allows you to transmute the forces at play. And ultimately, it is also one that will rile up and bring anything to the surface that needs to be witnessed to let go, to be transformed. So we begin. Thank you. 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 Thank you for this life. Thank you for this body. Thank you for this soul. Thank you for this opportunity to breathe. Thank you for food. Thank you for water. Thank you for the roof over the head. Thank you for family, blood, and other. Thank you for the ancestors that walked before us. Thank you to our gatekeepers. Thank you to our guardians. Thank you to our guides. Thank you to our angels. Thank you to our ancestors again. Thank you to our teachers. Thank you to the loved ones who look over us beyond the veil. Thank you, Creator. Thank you, Source. Thank you, Divine Love. Thank you, Eternal Fire. Thank you. Thank you. And if you don't have a smile on your face, and the eyes don't naturally want to well up, continue to say thank you with even more conviction, with even more appreciation, and with even more love. For it's this practice of gratitude, when we really mean it, when we fully lean into the appreciation, that again will allow us to overflow that heart center with love. Because truly this life is a gift. Simply being alive and waking up another day. All forms of life fight when it comes to that opportunity to exit or continue experiencing. It is innate in our nature. Yet if we are closed off from thanksgiving and gratitude and appreciation for this experience, it reveals a deeper wound that must be explored. That practice alone will allow you to see what blind spots become illuminated within you. And in that convergence of our 7 individualized rays into this one light in which we were born and created to be, we allow that love to seep into the other areas that may have been riled up. We allow that love to radiate downwards into the solar plexus, loving ourselves for that in which we are, our uniqueness. Taking another breath and loving ourselves into the sacral center for the playfulness, the creation that we exhibit our ability to manifest. And again, loving the form, loving ourselves in that root chakra, that interconnectedness, that point of contact with Earth, and loving this planet for providing us life. We take more breaths, filling ourselves up with that appreciation for that throat center, for allowing us to speak truth, for allowing us to laugh, for allowing us to feel that joy. Again, more breaths, continuing to fill ourselves up with that love, showing a deep appreciation for that third eye, that inner knower, our ability to illuminate the darkness, to recognize and reveal. And it's here we let go of all limitations, beliefs, and come into the deep knowing that this center provides us. And again, breathing even higher into the crown, that tip of the skull. And it's that love for the Creator. It's that love for the divine. It's that love for that which has always brought us peace, a deeper connection with Source. For it is that which offers us the ability to be in the flow, to allow that witness to our witness to run through us, to radiate through us. And we bring it back to our hearts. In the practical sense here, pouring love into each of these centers will reveal the blind spots, the areas where we need to let go of judgment, not only from others, but for ourselves. Relating to the heart space, blockages there will be the ones that are pointed inwards towards us. In the solar plexus, it is that which pointed outwards externally. It's here where we pour love into the sacral center and we let go and abandon shame, guilt. We know that everything is divine, that everything has been intended to bring you closer to not only Source, but your soul's highest purpose here. When we breathe into that root center, we let go of fear, knowing that you are always protected, guided, and connected with Earth. Allow yourself to discharge those energies through the feet, through the root chakra, letting go of all negativity, and instead soaking up the positivity, that radiant light of love that our planet represents. Your love overflows into the throat by abandoning falsehood, by speaking courageously, by allowing yourself to laugh and play more. In the third eye, we abandon attachment, that separation that the mind often causes. And instead we use it, that recognition, to separate ourselves and our identity from the temporary, so we can remain centered in that loving light, in that knowing in which we've experienced throughout the days and years. And our love with the crown allows us to take anything that separates ourselves from Source away. It is that sense of humility. It's returning home to our primordial parent, therefore receiving the ultimate love. When we allow our heart space to grow, just as the Grinch's heart grew with more love, our heart expands beyond its fourth place and enters into the fifth and the third, the sixth and the second, and the seventh and the first, ultimately connecting us straight to the divine and straight to Pachamama. That is the beauty of the soul, that it truly can govern everything in our system, and that is what we call the Christ consciousness. In the energetic practice, we begin by breathing, allowing that love and light to enter into the heart space. And whether you fill the lower lungs up or allow the breath to be directly directed into that upper lung, expanding the chest, put a smile on your face now if you haven't. And when we breathe, if you can, try to breathe from the root all the way up, and from the crown all the way down into the heart. We'll continue to take deep breaths here, breathing from that perineum up, and from that tip of the skull all the way down, like water is flowing into you. Yet everything converges back at the heart, and in your exhale it radiates not only but from the front, but from the back. Like stoking a flame with each breath, feeling your life force become brighter, feeling your energy become lighter, larger. And if you're envisioning that cartoon heart like the Grinch, you see that heart turn into a brilliant sun, radiating your soul's expression. And just as you stoke the flame, once you feel a shift of energy, allow yourself to rest. Let the body take over the breath and simply observe the heart. Observe that feeling in the chest, that smile, that radiant force in which we feel when we embrace a loved one, when we achieve those deepest aspirations, when we're having fun and playing. And it's here the most important part of this practice begins. As if you're standing on a clock, envision a spiral moving in a counterclockwise formation, extending from that fourth center of the heart, going through the body and exiting through your perineum, the root chakra. And allow that corkscrew to go deep into the earth. With your breath, a new rotation, an expansion, as if you have a giant cone, a vortex, an upside down tornado, reaching deep into the earth. Breathing in through the nose, and your exhale extending that spiral deeper and deeper into the earth. It's here, once you feel contact is made, a shift of energy in that lower center of the body. Extend those roots wide and far, deep and intertwined. And simply rest, feeling any overflow of energy being released back into the earth. Allowing the stillness and the calm and the quiet to be witnessed. Being rooted and grounded, immovable and strong. And with your next breath, we begin to imagine branching out from the heart space again upwards, a clockwise rotation, that vortex traveling from the heart space up through the throat, the third eye, and exiting through the top of our skull, the crown. With every breath now, drawing up from the root, and radiating from the heart all the way upwards. And again, every breath, another rotation, another exhale, reaching higher and higher into the sky. With each breath, the body becoming lighter, more elongated. More illuminated as we reach out into the heavens, going beyond the ceilings, the roofs of wherever we may be, high into the sky, like an antenna reaching out into the ether, allowing that channel from the divine to be widened. And again, a deep breath reaching out into the heavens. And once more resting, simply observing as that silent witness in that heart space. Not judging, not categorizing, not getting caught up in the feel, but simply witnessing the energies, the subtleties, the state of the form, the dropping away. And it's in these moments we come to simply be. Not getting distracted by anything that is getting revealed internally, but simply watching it from that position, the silent witness. Again, breathing into our hearts, we radiate our exhale like a shining light. And it's in this moment we come to know that this is how the torus field of our own energy swirls and moves about. And the more we breathe into our heart, the greater we spin and rotate. So with our next 3 breaths, as if you're spinning one of those old toys on the playground, allow your breath in to radiate the heart space, expanding your field. Those vortexes getting larger. And as you exhale, that rotation begins to spin faster. But just like the eye of the storm, it spins around you, converging back into you. From the technical standpoint, coming to understand and manipulate and control your energetic field. But ultimately knowing that it's the heart space, the soul, that governs the intangible and the tangible. Coming to honor your Christ light at the beginning of a practice of gratitude. And entering into the mastering of grounding that appreciation and that divine love into the form. Again, another deep breath here. And allowing that expansion to arise, and your exhale beginning to rotate even further. A greater spin. And just as a vortex pulls in more and more energy, more prana fills you up. Begins to allow that sun that you are to radiate brighter and larger. And one more deep breath here. And again, your exhale spinning faster and faster. And simply resting. Coming to honor yourself. Coming to honor this gift of life. And coming to honor your Creator and all those beyond the veil who assist us. We again say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. When you hear the next tap of the singing bowl, we again will take a breath together and transmute that exhale into a powerful and mighty Om. Release the body of breath here. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Feeling extra juicy. Would love to know how y'all feel about your experience in your body, what you're witnessing. Type up in the comments, whether it be live or later when you're listening. I'd love to know what others experience, because I know what goes on in mine. But I also appreciate your patience. Cacao ceremony before beforehand and just really wanted to enjoy some rest and gentle pace in the morning. There has been a lot of shifts arising recently, and I'll keep this short because we've been going for quite a bit, time skipping. But the importance for all of us that are on this path to own the path itself and our journey along it and who we are is the most important right now. A very large portal essentially closed yesterday, and it was that willingness to leap into the unknown and to really manifest that in which we seek. But it doesn't mean that these energies still aren't available. The ultimate aspect of this experience is free will. There's always an opportunity for us to choose. Now, these past few weeks have really been like, hey, anywhere you want to set your sail to, you're going to get some extra wind towards it. But as we truly begin this season now of humble lessons, it's not the time to be volunteering yourself to participate in anyone else's chaos. As I've said before, it's kind of like that, and excuse the language coming up, but it's that fuck around and find out season. And for those of us that are truly sincere about establishing a deeper connection with Source, about radiating our soul's expression fully, we no longer have glass ceilings over our head. Oftentimes, the world was not ready. People were not ready for our expression, for our beingness. It would be super activating. It would be attacked. But now is the time where the tides have turned. The scale is shifting. And it's of the utmost importance that we come to the basic practices that keep us grounded, that keep us connected to the divine. And this is one of the most potent ones. Thank you, gratitude, appreciation. It's our power to transmute instantaneously. It's the force that will clear away the clutter in the other centers, starting from that heart. And when we pour our own love into the form in all the ways that we know we should, from eating right, sleeping, stretching, resting, exercising, all of the things in terms of energetic wellness, not being around toxic people, not being judgmental. Often the last step and the most difficult for those in the spiritual path, getting the pride, the envy, all those things cleared away and just being really humble and connected to the Creator. Now's that time to really put your money where your mouth is, because ultimately everyone's lessons will be getting scaled up in the months to come. And it may seem very tumultuous. It may seem like everything around you is burning. Let it. The energies that are coming and going right now are 100% meant to. And ultimately, it's up to each of us on this path currently to focus on ourselves. It doesn't mean we can't co-create, doesn't mean we can't collaborate, doesn't mean we can't exist with others. Far from it. But rather we radiate our light and come from a place of compassion all the time. But that also means courage. That's one of the things that I often see in the spiritual realm, is that people think compassion is somehow passivity. Compassion is a courageous force of love. It is a fierce form of love. It is doing what is right, what you know is right, when everyone else tells you it's wrong. It's speaking from your truth sincerely and authentically. And ultimately, dancing your dance, baby. We're here to be the light. We're here to shine forth, but ultimately we are the capacitors that are going to be channeling all the extra energy that will be damaging to others. And that's why it's important not to volunteer yourself for other people's chaos. You're already going to be getting a lot of excess energy coming up. And this is one of those practices that will really keep you grounded and moving. So make sure you're earthing and grounding every day. Spend some time in nature as much as you can. Breathe fresh air. Even if it's cold, rainy, and wet, let nature wash all that extra excess nonsense and stickiness off you. And ultimately, come to radiate who you were created to be. That's like the biggest call to action from this practice is radiate from your heart space and live your life fully. You're going to be so protected and uplifted during these times. And the more you dance your dance, the more the Spirit's just going to turn that music up. And you'll start to notice the power that you have when you go out in public, when you start to, interact with people. That when you radiate from that heart space, you become the sun that others orbit around. And it's only going to grow greater and greater and greater in the times to come, the more you lean into that. So yeah, that's pretty much the download coming through. I love you so much. I love you all dearly. Be sure to do the YouTube stuff. Smash that like. Share if you can. We got to spread this message of love and light. And ultimately, may the fruit of knowledge offer us seed. And in that seed may your love, will, and intuition give life and nourishment. For a tree shall grow. And in its shade may you find peace. And offer peace to all who ask. Namaste. I bow to the divine within you. Thanks for dropping in. I love you so much. Peace.